Oh, aye, what time do you call this?
Am I late, like? Sorry, boss. Won't happen again.
Long night, was it?
No, not really.
Get up to much?
Just played a few games of dominoes with me granda. What's this about, boss? Is something the matter?
What have you done with my meat? So this was when Sutton first realised there was somebody robbing from the co-op?
Aye. A few days before the stakeout. Only he didn't see it as stealing from the co-op. They were stealing from him, and he didn't like it much.
And that's why he wanted to stand watch that night, so he could make the thief pay.
I swear, he was keeping a running tally on every single thing Noble took. What rate of interest he'd pay, and how many lumps he'd give him for every penny he owed.
And what do you think you would have been able to do? Persuade him not to come back, go to the police?
Good luck with that one, son. What's some Bobby from Newcastle going to tell us that we don't already know?
Aye, you know the village motto. If you see a stranger, hoy a brick at him.
You see this? This is what you get when you let men run everything. Bricks and guns and knives. Have you ever considered talking to one another? You'd be amazed what a difference it can make.
What would I want to talk to him for? You heard he's crack.
That is a fair point.
Oh! Oh, that is good. That might actually work.
What, talking to people?
Whitman!
No good can come from talking to women.
There is a big difference between talking with someone and talking at them.
Aye, and don't I know it?
Look, come on, focus here. Let's get back to it, lad, shall we? Where were we? What have you done with my meat?
Aye. Something like that.
What have you done with my meat?
What? What do you mean?
Do I look like your granda?
What?
I says, do I look like your granda?
No.
Then don't play games with me, lad.
Honestly, boss, I've no idea what you're on about.
Look, remember that beef joint we were working on yesterday?
Aye.
Just couldn't help yourself, could you? You had to have it all to yourself, didn't you? I knew I shouldn't have taken on an apprentice.
Whoa, wait. What do you mean couldn't help myself? I haven't touched your meat, boss.
Then where's it gone?
What, there must be a thief, but it's not me. I swear on me nana's knitting needles.
So how do you explain how my best cuts of meat can just disappear from under me nose? No sign of break-in, no doors forced, no windows broken, out.
You think it was an inside job?
Exactly.
Boss, I mean, there's loads of blokes work here, and loads more coming in and out every day. Any one of them could have done it.
Uh-huh, and you're the newest recruit. So it stands to reason...
Have you contacted the police?
Have I contacted the police? Where do you think what our lad low fell?
Do the committee know then?
No. Look, I wanted to come and speak to you about it first. See if you were man enough to admit to your crimes, whether it appears I was wrong.
Look, boss, I appreciate you coming to me before going to the committee, but you've got the wrong man.
It's exactly what a guilty man would say.
All right. Let's play this out, shall we? I know I didn't steal your sausages.
13th of October, sirloin of beef. 18th of October, lamb shank. 22nd of October, side of mutton.
Aye, that. I know I didn't steal any of that. So, let's say you drag us in front of the committee, tell them I'm a thief and that they should sack us.
That's the plan.
Aye, well, and let's say they go along with this plan. Only 2 days later, you wake up to find the lamb shank has waddled its way out of the shop like it was still alive. Now, you've got to go back to the committee and tell them you made a mistake.
No, you still could have done it.
Aye, but I wouldn't be working here then, would I? How would I get in? I haven't got any keys.
Right. So, bollocks.
I'm sorry, boss, but look, if there's anything I can do, just let us know.
No, I know you're keen, lad, and you want to help. I've got a plan.
You do?
All right? We'll hide out here one night, right? Catch him in the act and scare the scoundrel off.
Boss, are you sure about that? Should we not take something like this to the committee first?
Not before we've got something. I mean, how's that gonna look, eh?
I don't know, man.
Look.
Boss, I'm not sure about us hiding in here all night. I mean, who even knows what this bloke's like? If it even is a bloke.
What, you think as a woman could have done this?
Well, I don't see why not.
Meat's heavy, lad. Hadn't you noticed?
Aye. Didn't your mother carry you around once upon a time? You must have been a beefy baby.
Ah, yeah.
Besides, we don't even know if it's just the one bloke.
Hang on. There's more than one of us. And there's Mrs. Cleaver and Mr. Steele.
And Sally Sawdust.
And Sally What?
Look, hear us out. Instead of us hiding in here all night, why don't we just sprinkle sawdust all over the floor? That way we can see his footprints, see how he's getting in.
Aye. Right, well, I suppose that would be easier than hiding out here all night.
I'll leave the sack of sawdust by the front door to remind us on before I go.
All right, then. I suppose we better crack on, eh? Right, well, that's me done for the day. Time for your date with Sally Sawdust.
Of course.
Yep.
Do you want us to lock up after?
I don't know. Do I want you to lock up after? Maybe give you another chance to make off for some more of me meat.
I'm just trying to be helpful, boss. Look, you're welcome to stand here and watch us waltz Sally Sawdust around the room all night, but there's a lot of space to cover. And if we want to be sure how the burglar's getting in, well, it might take a while.
Aye. Well, a while's a time I haven't got, unfortunately. Mrs. Sutton's been on it as about putting some hyacinths into that frigid spot of ground she calls a garden. There's only so many times a man can work late. Right, see you in the morning then, eh?
Can do.
On time for a change.
Of course.
Champion. Have fun with Sally. Aye, on time for a change, eh? At least some good's come of these burglaries.
Boss, look!
Hey, footprints! Come on, lad!
Whoa! You don't want to contaminate the crime scene?
What?
It's a crime scene now, boss. Like in one of them Sherlock Holmes novels.
Hang on. You read?
Hey, it takes more than a sharp knife to be a master butcher. It takes a sharp mind, too. You taught me that.
Aye, well, careful you don't cut yourself. Oh, yeah, then. Let's see what the genius detective has, detected.
Well. Would you look at that? What kind of shoes leave footprints like these, eh?
What's that? Ah, hey, women's shoes. Pretty dainty ones as well, by the looks of things. Not good for burglaring, though, I would have thought.
You're not wrong there, boss. Shoes like them. Must be murder on the ankles.
So, it was a woman after all, then.
Well, let's not jump to conclusions. There could be more clues. Right under our noses.
Look, lad, while you're looking, you haven't seen my...
Aha!
What's
What
that?
are these?
Whoa, hey, all right, detectives, take a step back before I make you eat whatever it is you're waving in me face.
Gloves. They're gloves, boss. Women's gloves by the size and shape of them.
Aye. Well, only a woman would wear gloves in weather as mild as this. A woman or a southerner? Durham scum!
But to be clear, these are women's gloves.
Hey, maybe it's a woman from Durham. What?
Boss, this job had to have been done by someone who knows the layout of the co-op. I mean, look at these prints.
What ones?
The prints. Well, I mean, you saw them, boss. They went straight from the door, all the way out to the meat store, and then after that, they came around here and around the back, and hey, what's this on the floor?
Oh, you bugger, come here.
Stop!
What?
That's evidence.
My pickles.
Aye. Tell us, have you noticed anything about the jar?
It was on the ground.
Aye. Anything else?
Oh, it's not broken, which is odd because it's not on the shelf where I left it.
Anything else?
They're delicious.
It's not open.
Oh.
Now, why would our burglar go through all the trouble of sneaking in here late at night, only to leave an unopened pickle jar on the floor? Huh?
And not take anything.
What?
Yeah, while you were prattling on, I did a stock take. Not that I don't mind you finding me pickles, of course, but aye, the burglar's taken out. Curious.
Yes, that is curious. Right, okay, well, let's walk this out, shall we?
All right.
So, burglar comes through here, she goes to make her way over to the meat store, but on the way, she's distracted by this delicious jar of lovely pickles. So she goes to open the jar, but you can't get it off.
Ah, you see, I've got to jam the lid on tight so Mrs. Sutton doesn't get a hold of them. Only a real man could open this jar.
Exactly. So, since she can't get it off, she takes her gloves off to get a better grip. Only then she hears a noise. Startled, she runs over here, puts the pickles down and legs it, forgetting her gloves.
Right, and that's why she didn't take anything.
Exactly.
Sorry, she or he?
But women's shoes, women's gloves.
Aye, well, might have been a bloke, in women's clothes, like a disguise or something. Whenever you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth.
What?
Sherlock Holmes, you dafty. Sharp knife, sharp mind, remember?
Yes, yeah, but the pickles.
Aye. Well, that is a fair point. This jar's sealed tight. Yeah. Doubt a lanky thing like you could open it.
All right. Give it here, then.
Yeah?
If I can open it, as feeble a specimen as I obviously am, then it must have been a woman in here last night.
All right, then. I'll mind out, right?
Right, all right.
Careful, Cowell. Careful.
I'm being careful.
Just... Oh, no! Oh, yeah.
See? Definitely a woman. Like Irene Adler.
Aye, all right then. But, wait, give us a hand clearing up all this sawdust, will you?
And then we'll go to the committee, tell them about our little burglar problem.
Yes, man. But first, pickles.
Sure thing, boss.
Tell them about the German woman.
You've been up to your old tricks again.
I'm just doing my bit for Anglo-German relations. Now, do you remember that day we all went to the wholesalers at Newcastle?
Aye.
Well, after these fine gentlemen had gone home to their wives, I stayed on, took in a show, went to a bar, and in walks this woman.
A woman in a bar.
In a bar.
Oh, and I suppose she was something special, was she?
Tall, blonde, eyes that would turn a lesser man to stone.
Go on, tell them about the line you came out with.
I'm getting to that. So she strides in the place. Every fella in the place was just focused on her, right? I mean, but they didn't have the bottle to do anything about it. So she sits down, drinking alone. Rather inhospitable, thinks I. So I approach her and ask after her health, that sort of thing, right?
Never met a German.
So the first thing I ask her is the German for "you are very pretty." Now she tells me it's "Du bist sehr schön." So I say that to her. "Du bist sehr schön."
Just like that.
Just like that, yes. And the next thing she says is, Dein Haar sind sehr hübsch. That's your hair is very pretty. So I repeats that back to her. Then I ask her how to say your eyes are very pretty. Deine Augen sind sehr hübsch.
And she went for that, did she?
Well, of course. Wouldn't you?
Don't know. Nobody ever's told me I got pretty eyes. not in German, anyway.
Well, let me tell you, gentlemen, if an attractive German tells you deine Lippen sind sehr hübsch, it's a good sign. If you and your lady wife want it to be, of course.
Deine
It's your lips.
Hey now!
Oh, good Lord, is that Sutton already?
Oh, I'd say so.
Well, you'll forgive the sharp exit, gentlemen. He's never forgiven me for teaching Mrs. Sutton how to play gin rummy properly.
Oh, that was an expensive night.
Oh, come in, come in.
So go in, sir.
I know, Cowell, shut up. Oh, wait. In we get. I've got it, yes. Mr. Patterson.
Oh,
Arthur.
come in.
Thank you.
So, what's the beef?
What's the beef, he says? We've got a burglar, that's what.
You're joking.
No, I am not. He comes in here, sneaks in, must have a key or something, takes a chunk of meat, and then leaves. He's done it about 3 or 4 times now.
Hang on, you are sure this is a burglar?
Oh, absolutely. Cowell and I have just confirmed it.
With sawdust. to get footprints.
Hang on, why would anybody want to steal from the cooperative? It's like stealing from the village itself.
My thoughts exactly. The worst thing is, we think it's someone who knows the layout of the place, a local.
We should set a watch, catch them in the act.
And talk to them. If they're local, we probably know them. They'll have their reasons. Perhaps we could help.
Aye, help them see the error of their ways.
Overcome their problems. We serve the entire community, not just those we deem fit.
Does anybody else know about this?
No, there's just me and the lad.
Right, we'll keep it that way. We don't want to tip the burglar off.
Right.
When do you think he's going to strike again?
Oh, 3 or 4 days, I think. That fits the pattern so far.
So that's Thursday the 31st. I'm free. What are the rest of you?
Sure about that, John. You've not been well of late.
No, I just don't want this to turn nasty, okay?
I don't know what you mean.
I wouldn't mind staying on. I'd like to have a word with this individual personally.
If I may, there is one other thing. We think it's a woman.
A woman. Behave yourself.
Aye, sir. And, well, I'm not sure how Mrs. Sutton would feel about you staying out late at night to talk to a lady cat burglar, boss.
Oh, aye. That's a fair point. Arthur, can you come in?
No. If we're dealing with a burglar of the ladylike persuasion, I think Carr is our best bet. Cowell, you'll join us, I assume.
Of course, sir.
You sure 3 men's enough for one little lady?
Better safe than sorry, sir.
Just let's not remember why we're here, okay? She could still be dangerous, especially if she feels cornered.
Aye, if you say so.
Well, thank you for bringing that to our attention, Mr. Sutton. We hope we can resolve the case to your satisfaction.
Well, thank you, sir. Good luck. How are you? So, you've played Beggar My Neighbour, Beat My Neighbour Out of Doors, Strip Jack Naked.
Well, I've never heard it being called that before, but yes.
Well, Egyptian Rat Screw is like Beggar My Neighbour, but good.
Oh, not this again.
Oh, hush, Cowell, I don't know how to play.
Yes, there's more to life than dominoes, lad. All right? Well, Beggar My Neighbour basically is the same as Egyptian Rat Screw, so what you have to do is split the deck of cards between the amount of players that there are. So, one for you and one for me. Now, each player then takes it in turns to draw a card from the top of their deck into a stack.
Well, that's just Beggar My Neighbour.
Yes, but if you play a face card, all right, then I have a certain number of turns to produce a face card. Otherwise, you win the round. So, for instance, if a jack comes out, it's 1, 2 for queen, 3 for king, 4 for an ace, that sort of thing. If I don't produce a face card, you win. But if I do, then you must produce a face card. Otherwise, I get all the cards in the stack.
And whoever has all the cards at the end wins.
Yes, but in Egyptian Rat Screw, there are all these other rules where you get to slap the deck.
Can we not do that, please?
Oh, sorry. Now, for instance, if I was to draw a 9 and then you drew a 9, I win the round.
Mr. Carr, please.
Sorry. But there are all these other rules, you see. Now, if you play a card, right, and then I play a card that's the same number as the one I've just played, that's called a sandwich, you see.
And this is
then
popular with women, is it?
Oh, like you wouldn't believe. Now, you see, you get players who hold their hands very close to the stack so as to slap more quickly. Now, if I slap and it turns out the slap was wrong, they pay a penalty.
Which lets you introduce the element of physical contact with you and the woman you've got your eye on.
Yes, precisely, you dirty dog.
I've been spending far too much time with you.
Right, shall we say penny around? All right, then.
It's the burglar.
Come on. Come on.
Car, please stop shuffling them cards. Now! Oh, we have you now, sir. Tell us who you are and why we shouldn't hand you over to the police, and stop struggling so we can talk.
Let go of me, you villains!
I thought you said the burglar was a woman.
I must have been mistaken.
Get your hands off me!
I know that voice. Joe Noble from Stone Street.
You don't know me. You know nothing about me. Out of me way, fool.
We just want to talk. Don't we, Cowell?
Aye, man. We don't want anyone to get hurt.
I'd like to see how you're going to try and stop me.
Patterson, look out!
You should have kept your damn mouth shut.
Oh, now calm down. There's no need to get agitated. You're safe here.
And just stay away from them glasses,
Well,
son.
there has to be a way. No one has to die because of me.
Look, when you go for a walk, does it matter to the road?
No.
Exactly. You see, you don't change the road changes you, right? All you do is keep walking.
Yes, like Lot in the story. You keep moving forwards.
No looking back.
Exactly. Just keep on walking.
Or you could just stop.
Really? Where on God's green earth is that a helpful thing to say, and when can you go there?
Look, I'm just saying, you could stop going on
I
about...
could stop him. It was too late by the time you got to the co-op. I say that now. But I could have stopped him before then.
This isn't gonna end well.
Look at what he did to you when you outnumbered him.
Aye, Andy wasn't expecting it to happen.
I won't expect this to happen.
And for good reason, son. No offence, but no one expects to get jumped by a streak of piss.
Well, it doesn't have to be me. It could be someone else.
Somebody else. Who do you know who's more frightening than the butcher? Eh? Who else do you know who could stop your burglar in his tracks?
I don't have to fight him, though, do I? I just have to stop him. But before he gets to the co-op that night, that's all. Look, all I was interested in was getting Mr. Sutton off my back. If I'd taken him seriously...
There's nothing but heartbreak doing this road, lad.
This is madness. This is absolute folly. Even if you could think of a way to stop him, it's too late.
No,
this all happened months ago. Hindsight is a wonderful thing, son, but it can't help you here.
No, listen. I never tried to figure out who it was. Sherlock Holmes wouldn't have gone through all that effort of putting sawdust down all over the floor, only to let Lestrade finish the job.
Hey, and to think, I was going to go to the Hare and Hounds if you hadn't dragged me here.
And you would have been tucked up with your good lady wife by now.
Well, I went to the Hare and Hounds before I came here, so you would still have been arguing with me.
Well, I would have told you to sling your hook, and that would have been that.
Aye. Only because you knew where I was going to sling it.
He's got you there. You've got another date with Sally Sawdust.
Again, really? Do I have to do this every night?
Aye, until you know who stops coming back. Right, yeah, I think I'm going to the committee with me salami in me hand. No, we need proof, and this was your brilliant way of getting it, remember?
I just don't see the point in doing it every night. I mean, putting it all down on the floor, only to sweep it all back up the next morning. Really?
Oh, for God's sake. 1, it's unhygienic, right? 2, we don't want to scare him off. And 3, I thought you and Sally were really hitting it off. I see that twinkle in your eye. When you're going to make an honest woman out of her?
How am I going to make an honest woman out of anyone if you've got me stuck in here with a sack of sawdust every night?
Oh, listen, Pet, you listen to him, right? You're doing him a favour. Don't forget that.
You still haven't sorted out those hyacinths yet, have you?
No, I haven't.
I'd save some of that sweet talk for Mrs. Sutton then.
Aye, right. Well, just make sure you get Sally home by midnight, all right?
That's the 3rd time this week.
Please don't shout. The children.
Oh, let them hear. They'll find out how useless you are sooner or later.
Please, Joe, you're scaring me. You're scaring them.
Oh, so it's my fault, is it? Well, let's see, shall we? So I go to work to earn the money to pay for the sausages. I go and buy the sausages and I bring the sausages home. All of that is on me. All you have to do is cook the bloody things. You know, a few minutes in a frying pan. But you can't even get that right because apparently I'm too scary.
I'm sorry, Joe. It's my nerves.
Look, if I was scared of somebody, I'd make damn sure I didn't keep burning their bloody breakfast every morning. I wouldn't want to find out what would happen if I kept making the same stupid mistakes. It's all right, I'll get something on the way into work. Don't you worry your bonny little head about it. Come here. Oh, I'll be late tonight. You'll have to look after yourself. Don't want you getting scared, what with all those ghosts and goblins about, eh? Get yourself to bed early.
This is it. I could go after him, but
But you're worried about the wife.
I didn't know.
Nobody ever does. Even when it's right in front of their faces, they don't want to see it.
Maybe I should go inside, see if she's all right.
Maybe you should get her to do your dirty work, you mean?
What? No, I just... You heard. He might have heard her.
Aye. And what's he going to do to her when he finds out you've been speaking to her behind his back?
I could help.
Oh, aye, because you've been nailing that so far, son. She needs help from you like I need the wife lancing my piles.
Jesus.
But if Mrs. Noble knew what her husband was getting up to, where he was getting those sausages from, well, then should leave him, right? And he's not going to be robbing anywhere if his wife's just left him, is he? I'd be killing two birds with one stone.
You should choose your words more carefully, sir. There are plenty of men who have been hung for the things they did after their wife left them.
All right. There's nothing but heartbreak down this road, lad. You want to forget it?
Aye, son, just know your limits, all right? Some things are out of our control to fix. And in your case, lots of things.
Oh.
Maybe you're right. Maybe I should stick with my original plan.
Which was?
To go after Noble and stop this thing once and for all.
Have you learnt nothing? You must turn away from this cause.
I've learned plenty. My inaction costs folk their lives. Good folk will know more.